Okay, welcome back. Now that we've discussed the many benefits of investing in Mexico, we must balance our perspective by shedding light on the challenges, right? It's only fair to do so. There's an old adage that says, you get what you pay for. And my 4-year stay here in Mexico has indeed been an embodiment of this saying. Let's go over 4 of the top challenges from a high-level perspective. 1, working with the right people. Identifying the right people to collaborate with forms one of the biggest challenges that you're going to face. Real estate agents or developers are naturally keen to selling their projects, but they often neglect to assist you with critical details that could significantly impact your investment. They'll help connect you with a lawyer and a notary to finalize the property sale, but it's the subtle actions and strategies that can substantially increase your ROI, such as an effective tax management. I spent 2 years researching and establishing the right connections to maximize my returns, and by working with me, you'll benefit from these efforts as well. You need to obtain your residency and your RFC, which can reduce your taxes on Airbnb and other short-term rental platforms from 34% to just 12%. I've teamed up with a tax expert who will break down the tax structure and help you set up your fiscal matters in the most advantageous way possible. He'll even help you structure your business taxes in the USA. He saved me about 80% on my yearly taxes as an American. I'm not joking. I'll guide you through this process of securing your residency and RFC to enhance your ROI and minimizing your tax burden. I have the right people who can and will assist you seamlessly during this process. And it's also important to note that all developers aren't really created equally. Some may have had this success in other cities, but may not fully grasp the nuances of this market. Seemingly minor things like choosing a cheaper type of wood for doors that can end up costing you more in the long term due to factors such as humidity and heat expansion, which can affect door function. And this can lead to guest complaints, which leads to less than 5-star reviews, which results in less visibility on Airbnb and ultimately fewer bookings. And that's just one example. It's crucial to keep tabs on these small details. When you're investing, you need to be in touch with the right individuals who can ensure your investment is secure on all fronts, from the large financial considerations down to the type of wood used for the doors. Now, I'm not saying get too caught up in the details, but that's just an example. Number 2, efficiency. Having traversed the length and breadth of Mexico, I can tell you that the first challenge won't be much of a revelation to those who've spent some time here. As someone who has hailed from the fast-paced New York City life, it quickly struck me that efficiency is not Mexico's strong suit. The transition can be somewhat frustrating if you arrive with preconceived expectations. Imagine facing the sluggish pace of a DMV line every single day. However, depending on your outlook, this cultural quirk can be viewed as a mixed blessing. To illustrate my point, I can entertain you with countless stories, but let's focus on one prevalent issue: traffic management. Being a New Yorker, I'm no stranger to traffic jams. In New York, a metropolis teeming with millions, traffic is an inevitable part of life. There, we have divisions and departments of transportation tasked with alleviating this issue, which means synchronizing traffic lights, studying traffic patterns, rerouting traffic, and the like. This process is undoubtedly costly and requires specialized education. In Mexico, the situation seems more convoluted than necessary. To give you an example, the main highway from Cancun to Chetumal often experiences inexplicable traffic congestion. For 2 years now, there have been police officers manually operating traffic light switches at nearly every intersection along this route as part of this construction for the new railway and other infrastructural upgrades. In this scenario, a mere 2.5-mile journey can turn into 20-minute ordeals. This lack of efficiency is astounding. Implementing something as simple as a timer to automate the traffic light changes could make a world of difference, providing both convenience for drivers and much-deserved break for the police officers standing in the heat when there's an easy fix. Occurrences like these might leave you puzzled and question the logic behind them like it does me every day. But as I mentioned earlier, it requires a shift in your mindset. If you don't allow yourself to be open to a different way of thinking and living, such as inefficiencies can become a source of constant frustration. The key is to acknowledge and accept that this is a different place with a unique way of doing things. And I can assure you, when you invest here, you're bound to encounter similarly perplexing scenarios. I'll give you a few more examples that you might find yourself facing as I have. Perhaps your pool is murky, and all that needed to be done was just to replace the pool filter. Yet, instead of buying a new filter or informing you about the issue, your pool cleaner may simply remove the old filter, restart the pool, and manually start adding chemicals. Or your cleaning crew might end up watering bags of soil that you used for potting plants. instead of removing the bag from your penthouse rooftop. It may seem outlandish, but these kinds of situations are almost inevitable here. However, getting upset will only lead to further frustration. The best approach is to take it all in stride, laugh it off, and move on. It's all about a unique charm of living and investing in Mexico. Embrace these oddities, and you'll find that they add a unique color to your investment journey, making it an experience you won't find anywhere else. Next up is financing. One of the more tangible hurdles to overcome when investing in Mexico is the lack of traditional financing. Well, I may have landed a company that can make this happen, but at the time of recording this, I'm not ready to bring it to market. It takes a lot of cash to invest, and as I've mentioned, I've had hundreds of conversations with potential investors and those who have invested. And this is the reason why I created this course. I get it. It's a lot of money. In some cases, it could be all the money that you have saved up or close to it. So it's a risk to wire transfer money to some random guy in Mexico who calls himself a developer. And this can be a challenge when the real estate agent tells you that a one-bedroom apartment for $150,000 is going to generate you 10% ROI. I'll dive deeper into this in later sections. But to put it simply, real estate investment here requires a considerable amount of upfront cash. I have had hundreds of dialogues with potential investors, those who have made the plunge and, of course, navigated this terrain myself. This is one of the key reasons I created this course. In many cases, investing here might involve the bulk of, if not all, the savings that you've accumulated. It can be a daunting prospect to wire transfers of substantial amounts of money to a developer you've never met in a country that you're not even entirely familiar with, especially when you're purchasing pre-construction property. It's a leap of faith to trust that you're going to get what you paid for when you can't see a tangible product just yet. I've heard horror stories. I look at it this way. Driving a car is dangerous, but if you take time to study and practice, you can go a lifetime with never being involved in a car accident. Think of buying a property in Mexico like getting your driver's license. Take all of this info that I'm sharing with you as your driver's study manual. Then you'll be ready to reap the benefits. We'll dive deep into the intricacies of this in upcoming sections, but to say that conventional financing options are available here is not really a wise option. I did it, and I don't advise it. I have a video on my YouTube channel explaining all of this. I'm in talks with a company now who I think could be a great option, but it would only make sense for specific types of investments. While this is certainly a challenge, it's not a deal breaker. There are still strategies you can leverage to maximize your returns and ensure your investment is sound. I'll go over some options throughout the course on different ways to invest here with smaller budgets for those who are interested. Let's be clear about one thing. Investing in Tulum or really anywhere in Mexico isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. Wouldn't that be wonderful if it were that easy? Yeah, you will profit from your investment, but I've seen it too many times. Real estate agents making grandiose promises of 15% returns based on projections that feature exorbitant nightly rental rates like $200 a night for a single one-bedroom property. Sure, if you purchase the right type of property, you might achieve this, but we'll delve into the specifics of the property types that will yield these kinds of returns in later sections. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, a long-term investment strategy, and an opportunity to diversify your portfolio in another country. Factoring in expenses like property management and maintenance is critical. My rule of thumb is to anticipate that roughly 33% of your revenue will be allocated towards upkeep and management. This doesn't include the appreciation value of your property, which is also another aspect of your ROI. However, let's be realistic. Purchasing a $300,000 property here isn't going to mean that you can suddenly resign from your day job and live a life of leisure and support your family forever. So is your investment going to generate income and grow over time? The short answer is yeah, but only if you go about it the right way. That is the key purpose of this course, to provide you with the knowledge and the tools that you need to make savvy investment decisions. Having a short-term rental property can involve a lot of work, but working with the right team can simplify that process for you, albeit at a cost, of course. And with that, we conclude the challenges section of our course. I hope that you have found these insights valuable and that they've equipped you with a better understanding of what to expect when investing in Tulum and wider Mexico. In the next section, we'll be focusing on setting your investment goals and managing your expectations. We'll discuss how to craft a clear and achievable plan for your real estate journey in Mexico and explore ways to maximize your returns. So let's go on to the next video.